Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to unbox the Roku Premier streaming device, and I'm also going to show you how to set it up on your TV. Okay, so here I've got the box open. We've got a power supply. This is the streaming device. It's got HDMI out. That's your power in. Looks like micro HDMI or micro USB. There's the remote. Looks like a piece of two-sided tape. And it does come with the batteries. Also, we've got some cables inside this orange cardboard. We got an really small HDMI cable. And there's our USB to micro USB power cable. Comes with some stickers, and then we've also got a user guide. So we're going to follow it step by step. We're going to hook the HDMI cable from the device to the TV. And then we're going to plug power into the device. And then we're going to put the batteries in the remote, connect the remote, and turn it on. So that is only a 3-foot HDMI cord. Very small. And the device itself is very small. 3 1/4 by 1 1/4 by about a 5/8 thick. It says you have to point the remote here. So the remote's going to be infrared. This is not RF where you get to point it wherever you want. You're going to have to point, the infrared signal is going to come from the remote, and it's got to, see this device, you're going to have to put this device around your TV so that you can point your remote at it to make it, get it do what it wants. So it's going to be very important that this sticks out in front of the TV. Then here we've got this power cord. So it does come with a brick, and it says the brick puts out, output is 5 volts at 1 amp. So you're going to plug it in like that. And then the other end of this is what powers this. This thing needs power. So you're going to have to plug it in. Again, it's got a long cord. So you can also plug this into your TV. Your TV might have a USB outlet to power this, which would be nice. And then you're going to have to run the HDMI cable. These things are they only go one way. Be careful with them. So they insert like this. This is the output. And we need to put this into an input on one of the TVs. All right, to get the remote open, it's pretty simple. It just slides. Just push down right here, and it should slide back. The batteries both go positive forward. That's a little different than a normal remote. So put both batteries in. There is no pair button or nothing, so then you're just going to close this. Okay, so let's go to the back side of your TV and find an HDMI port. Okay, so here are the HDMI ports on my machine. I've got USB 5 volts, USB 5 volts 0.5 amps. And then this is HDMI. I'm using HDMI 2. I'm going to plug it into HDMI 1. It should say what it is by it. See how it says HDMI 1? Okay, so now you just take the other end of that HDMI port. Again, they only go one way. Make sure you get it the right way, and it should slide in all the way like that. Now, if I follow the other end of the HDMI cable, I've got it plugged into the Roku device. Again, I've got to get this to where now it'll point so that I can see it on the front of the TV. And then I've got the power cord. Now, I could plug the other end of the USB power cord into here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to plug it into an outlet. Okay, so I've got the brick plugged into the wall, and the other end of that goes to here. Now the unit is powered up, and I got to get it to the front of the TV because I got to be able to see this front part. The remote has to be able to see this screen in order for it to work. Okay, so there is a little light that's blinking. Now I can turn this upside down and stick it to the bottom of my TV like that with that. I've got that two-sided tape. You just peel off one side, stick it to the other. Or I can try to stick it, I can turn it like this and kind of stick it to there or something. But this front screen has to point me. I have to be able to see that. And you can see that the cord is not very long. This is my Roku Ultra. But we're trying to get this one to work. Okay, so I ended up using that two-sided tape. I taped it to the bottom of my TV. I've got direct access to my TV. Okay, so now you got to find your TV remote, and you should have a source or an input. You need to find the source. See how mine's on HDMI 2, or was it on HDMI 1? Okay, so once you pick the source that new Roku Premiere is connected to, this is the first screen you see. It says, "Let's get started English." Okay, so now I've got the remote. I've got the batteries in the remote. I'm going to be using this purple wheel with the arrows and the OK. Now I have to point this part here. I have to point that at that part on the TV that I see. I put it right there on the bottom of the right-hand side. I need to point it at it for it to work. The more expensive Rokus have RF, and I can point this any old direction and it'll work. That is not the case with this cheaper Premiere. So I'm going to press OK. Now it's searching for your wireless network. You have to have Wi-Fi. Click on your Wi-Fi and then give it the Wi-Fi password. Use the arrows to move that cursor. Okay, so I'm going to use the purple keys and I'm going to give it the password for my Wi-Fi. Okay, when I've got my password entered, if I'm up here in the numbers and stuff, I got to scroll down using the purple arrows to the word connect. Then hit the OK button. It's going to check your wireless connection. Once it checks everything OK, and of course it has to do an update, so you got to click OK to do the update. Okay, so the update took about 5 minutes. Unfortunately, you just got to sit for it and wait. Now it says it wants to auto detect the display. So just press the OK button. It's gonna see if it can support everything. So I find that the automatic detection doesn't work the best. I'm gonna hit the word cancel. I'll leave it on cancel. Now I'm gonna go manually select the highest resolution. I know my TV does 4K, so I'm using the arrow button here and see how I'm changing. It wants a really low, it auto-detected that it would only output 720p on this TV, but I know this TV can do more. So I'm going to put change to 4K 30 Hertz. Hit OK. So you can just select one of those until you find one that gets all 3 check marks. So see, the auto-detect said it couldn't handle all this, but I knew it could. So now I'm going to hit use 4K HDR 30 Hertz. Hit OK. Now here's where you got to hurry up and hit something or it'll change back. You got to scroll up within 15 seconds, hit the word yes, screen looks good, and click OK. Otherwise, it won't keep those settings. And then hit OK. Now you do have, at this point, you have to create a Roku account. You will either click enter your email address to get a Roku activation link and start streaming, or already have an account, enter the email you used when you set up the account. So I'm going to scroll down. I already have. You just hit enter. I'm going to enter my email address. Once you enter your email address, hit enter. Now it's going to send you, it comes up with this screen. It will show you that email address. It'll say, please check your inbox of your email. Here's what the email will look like. And you got to click on this they'll give you a link. You got to click on that link. Okay, so now it's going to take you to the Roku web page. And if you have an account on the left-hand side, it says sign into your Roku account, or you have to create a Roku account. So if you've never had a Roku, hit create an account. If you already have a Roku account, enter your email and password and hit submit. Okay, so once you name your Roku, then you got to just skip all that stuff. It's going to walk you through on the website, different channels it wants you to add or different interests you might have. I just skipped through all of those. Now, once you hit done on there, it's going to update all the channels, and this can take a while. Okay, so once it updates all the channels, you got the words all done, you got to hit the right arrow. Remember to point the remote at the TV. So it wants to give you a brief introduction. You can just hit the home button to skip that. Now this is your home. On the right is your channels. So if I use the cursor, see how that white bar moves over? Now these are all my channels. And I can add or take away channels as I want. And I can move these channels. And I'm using the cursor now. I go over here to the left. I've got home, featured. These are featured channels, my feed, movie store, I can buy channels, TV store, search. If you don't find a channel that you want, say if it's BBC or something, just go over here and search in for what you want. It'll find the channel. Here you can just go through streaming channels. It goes featured. Like there's Discovery Plus. And just click on it and hit add channel. And it'll add it to your home screen. Okay, so now just hit the back. Anytime you want to go back to the home menu, just hit that home button. It takes you right here to this screen. So now you just scroll over and click on Netflix, and now you have to sign into your Netflix account. So this remote is very basic. It does have jump buttons. So if I want to go to Netflix, say if I'm on the home screen and I just hit this Netflix button, it'll take me right to the Netflix. No matter where I am in the program, it'll jump right to Netflix. Now it doesn't have any volume buttons for the TV. Very, very simple remote, and you have to point it at the line of sight. It uses infrared, so that this little window has to see that little window for the remote to work. And then again, there's some little tricks I'll show you. So if you scroll over, if there's a channel you don't want, go over to it till the white box is, if you see up in the top right hand corner, it says options, press the little star button. It's now I can remove the channel, or I can move the channel. I can move it up in that home page, but I want to remove it, so just hit remove. Now it doesn't show up in there anymore. So you may want to simplify your channels, because a lot of these, sometimes you don't watch a lot of them. And then with this remote, it does have pause, and then it has rewind 30 seconds, and then these are rewind this way, fast forward. So it's just a very basic remote. So this was a review on the Roku Premiere and how to set it up. There are more capable Rokus out there. This one's not bad. You just got to remember to point the remote at the unit. The Roku Ultra, you can bury that Ultra wherever you want. It uses RF, so you don't have to point the remote right at it. So with more expense, you do get bigger upgrades. The remotes are better. The streaming devices are better. So thanks everybody for watching.